I am so hungover, you guys. Open Monday. Yo. Nah, you know, I'm living for today, right? So it's bedtime. Like, why is this also? I had a few drinks and got high. Yo. Anyway, so I was on my way home from town when I bumped into this old friend of mine that I last saw when I was doing my second year, if not mistaken, in varsity. Yeah, because I think the last time I saw him was when I was doing my second year, right? Okay, so long story short, ngitagi wene kimo ke adulty, like kimo. So Shapu, me and the guy from the same town, we went to the same college, but due to personal reasons that I will be revealing later on in the video, unfortunately, he had to drop out of college, right? He had to drop out of varsity, and for the reasons see later on in the video. Like, anyway, hey guys, so welcome back to another video. Yo, it's been long. How long has it been? Like, I've been so busy, you know, ever since I graduated from varsity, my life so every time when I need to like take a video and upload it, something always comes up, right? Something always comes up. But I am gonna try. I know I haven't been but I have been consistent. It's just that this one like I admit that I haven't been consistent. God, story time. Yes, I admit. So I'm gonna try and see, because story time is you know. But y'all, welcome back to another video. If you're a new subscriber, thank you so much for tuning in. Oh wait, hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's a girl beats up her body, and I'm back with another video. If you're a new subscriber, thank you so much for tuning in, and if you're a regular, thank you for supporting my content. You know, like, make yourself at home. This is where everything happens, you know, like, feel free. So as y'all can tell by the title of the video, this video is going to be a dark one. So be prepared, be prepared. Anywho, on Thursday, I was on my way from town, when I bumped into this old friend of mine. So guy, I last saw him in 2019. As like I've said, I'll be revealing later on what happened to him, right? Why did he disappear from the face of the earth? I'll be getting into detail. So truly speaking, now I thought, like, when I saw him, I thought that Satube did drugs, you know, because most guys in my hometown Satube did drugs because of, I can't say because of whatever, I don't know what the reason behind it is, but the way that they are now, Satube drugs. So Liana, the way Gila Shakana Lena thing, it's like, Kavaslabai, hey Gray, hey, give me feeling. I get mama mo feeling. Ufuwe ke mama yenu. Yeah, so the way he was, drugs. Honestly, because most people that I grew up with, drugs. It's kind of sad, you know, that people that you know or people that you grew up with also look at 3 to 5 years later, essentially the junkie, because that's how bad it is. Like, I'm sorry for referring to them as junkies, but yo, guys, like, happily the condition he was in. His clothes were dirty. Get ready, 19 foot. So it was very easy for one to assume that Liana, he's now part of the, you know, because the taxi guys, it's bad. It's bad. If y'all could see the situation in my hometown, shame. It's saddening, it's heartbreaking. Totally what went wrong. that is something that I normally ask myself most of the time. You know, the lighting is really bad, and yeah, it's fine. It lets up plan in him. Yeah, as I was saying, the situation is really bad, especially because most of the people who are now smoking this shit you grew up with, right? So it's kind of sad, you know. It's kind of sad because azanga motho wa nahana gore nyeo a ka tswe di-drugs, you know, because some of them used to be so smart in school. So I just don't understand what went wrong, honestly. I don't understand what went wrong. And that is a code that I've been trying to crack. Nje, a ke na dikarabo. But then one thing I've realized is that people are going through a lot. People are going through a lot. So I can know bajaja. I can know bajaja shame. But the drugs. So fine, taxi if it's a drop that like you walk down when I suddenly saw the strange guy. He was walking in the same direction as me, one approach, you know. So now I'm feeling nervous because as like I've mentioned earlier in the video, that the condition that he was in, maybe drugs, and we know that most people who smoke drugs, most people they look deep into this thing by like and all of that. So those were the things that I was thinking about. I was thinking, I could barely recognize the guy, you know. I could barely recognize him in this heat. I barely recognized the guy, shame. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I think maybe it's because, you know, right? And I wasn't expecting hore. So I think that's why it took a long time for me to process and realize hore, you know, because I barely recognized him. So as he was approaching me, Nake changed a direction, right? I get to mind you, we're walking in the same direction, but now he's approaching me, right? Now I'm going downwards, and he's walking towards me, right? So he changed the direction because remember, the only thing that's on my mind right now is that right? Until I heard a voice, you know. So basically, I heard someone calling for me. So I'm not gonna lie, it took me about 7 seconds to recognize my friend. Like, yo, I could barely recognize him, you guys. You could barely recognize him. They say Aluzita complexion. They say Aluzita weighty. His eyes were popping right out. You know. So now I'm like, Haibo Mehlo Madal. And then, so I'm referring to him as Mehlo Madala because it's been decades since I last saw him, right? So that's the name that we're gonna give him, right? So his name in this video game, he's like, sure, dude, long time. I'm like, long time, dude. Where the hell you been? So I'm thinking of going inside because it's getting dark. But yeah, let me try and rush things. But if then I'm gonna have to go inside the house. Shapo, I'm like, where the hell you been? Last I saw you was in the Val. So what happened, Vele? Like, what happened to you? He took a deep sigh before he answered me, and the first thing he said was, Nkapere sheep. So as we were walking, he's like, aren't you even going to give me a hug, dude? I mean, it's been a while since we last saw each other. Thing with me is that I'm a hugger, right? Most people who know me by Zebediah, like, I'm that type of person. I've got love to give, you know. Yeah, so that's the thing with me. Like, and I'm surprised so he still remembered all of that. Like, so fine, he bought a cigarette. It was awkward. The moment was really awkward, honestly. In my mind, I'm like, Lord, what is this guy's end game? Like, is he planning on stealing my phone or what? You know. So, like, I'm asking myself a lot of questions because, you know, things were awkward between us, right? Things were awkward. Lena, the condition he was in, it was very, very disheartening, right? It was very disheartening, and motu no ka assume gore hai, no, konintwe off. I wasn't comfortable. I'm not gonna lie. I just wanted to go home because you last saw this person ages ago. Wahlaya, he's in a different situation. He's behaving differently than the last time you saw him. Oh, never mind that. Someone was texting me. So obviously, what you know, what's funny how he saw that I wasn't comfortable because he kept on saying, like, no, it's an ex, because I wasn't comfortable, right? Remember that, bear in mind that I'm a talkative person, right? I'm a bubbly person. So whenever I'm around you, so I can you know, because I was trying to figure out, you know. Mind you, there was tension between us because, first of all, I'm nervous, right? I'm nervous because I've got a lot going on in my mind, you know, like I'm thinking about a lot of things. I'm thinking, oh, yo, it's like, hey, this guy opening, right? Leana, at the same time, he's being shady. I ended up thinking, what if he wants to rape me? That's how nervous I was. So as we were approaching my house, so fine, motho over like, I need to tell you something. Okay, I asked him, he cried. He literally cried. He literally bursted into tears. I'm like, hey, bo mehlo madala, and no, whatever tunzal. So I waited for him to come down first because I saw whatever to hash up, right? So next time so fine, o come down. So here's the climax. The first thing he said after he had come down was that I almost lost my life. Obviously, motohacho jwalo, you're gonna think suicide, right? You're gonna think they've attempted suicide and that it failed, right? So what happened? Because in my mind, suicide. Like I was thinking of suicide. Okay, maybe he tried committing suicide and God said, not today, Satan. Until I mind you, he's 2 years older than me, ne? So apparently when he was doing his 3rd year, he didn't finish his studies. Here's what happened. When he was doing his 3rd year, he became friends with some guys, Beneba Blomasam. So the guys were shady, but right? Every time during the wee hours, they would leave the house and come back around Boma 6 or half 6. So to him, he thought that they were going over to their girlfriends or whatnot, because I get a bajol. But that was not the case. That was not the case. He said this went on for like 2 months. Until 2 of the guys, because Akere there were 3 of them, 4 including Metro Madala, because Akere there were 4 of them going to go student accommodation. So 2 of the guys approached him. So when they approached him, it firstly started off as a joke. Don't you want to join Satanism? Mehlo Madala thought they were joking until they elaborated further. Truly speaking, Lina, I thought the same when he narrated the whole story to me. I thought maybe Odlalagana, because it's not every day where people bow up here and say such things, you know. But like unconvinced, and apparently when they left during the wee hours, when they would leave the house during the wee hours, they would target students who were from campus. We know some students banalhoya campus balobala or do whatever right? Also, they would target students who were from nightclubs. What they would do is that gela or whatever, and they would make as if po. So hands about Tsuerida, they had needles with them, right? Would stab you with those needles, bank your blood, hafetsa bavaye, onto the next target. They store the needles in those money bags. You see those plastic ones that banks use? Yeah, those ones. So that's how further they explained things to him, because he didn't want them to explain further, right? Because apparently because he didn't want them to explain further. So he was like, nah, I'm good. Count me out. Time went. They started attacking him through his dreams. He said he had these horrible dreams whereby his friends were attacking him, right? They were stabbing him. So this went on for like 3 weeks. It started affecting his studies. It started affecting his health because Akiri, he was no longer getting enough rest. He was no longer getting enough sleep. So technically, he was forced to join this cult or whatever. Because during those 3 weeks, one of the guys, Olaya Hoyena, and told him that if you do not join us, we're going to kill you. So fine. After a lot of thinking, after a lot of introspection, after a lot of investigation, I doubt he did any investigation, but after whatever, he ended up joining the cult because he was fearing for his life, right? He was fearing for his life. So Shabu, they took him to this strange house in the location. When he got there, he was taken into a room that was dark and told to wait. This thing or this person that was talking to him, because he said there was a voice talking to him, but Jenna, he couldn't see what it was or who it was. It directed him that he should slaughter a black chicken at 3 a.m. in the morning. His friends bamuhlabise ka madi ya teng, and after that he must drink a cup of the chicken's blood. You know, as I am narrating this whole story, I wish you guys could see how traumatized Mehlo Madala was. He was really traumatized, you guys. He was really traumatized. He was shaking. You could see that experienced it traumatized. You could see that experience traumatized him. It was a lot for him, and it's something that he's not going to forget, right? And I'm not gonna lie. Johnny Ahmed! So Shapu, his friends bought the chicken for him because he didn't have money, right? I get bonne they had money, they were getting paid for fanakamadi abatu. They did the ritual, and after that, he drank the blood. Mehomadala Are, after drinking that cup of blood, he didn't feel like himself. He felt as if there was someone or something inside of him. He felt like there was another person living inside of him. So after that, they instructed him on what his role was, which is collecting blood, not collecting, taking blood from people, and after that, you take it to your master. They were taking it to their master because that's what he said. They were referring to the guy or that thing as their master. The more they did this, the more they got paid. So technically what their role was, it was to take blood from people, take it to their master, get paid for it, and fraud. Remember that blood is something that is sacred. Blood is something that is sacred, and I think we have all been taught that. So that is what they were doing. Even a pinch of your blood, even if they took a pinch of your blood, so it didn't matter. It didn't matter long as bankile something. That's what mattered. Long as bankile something. So Shapu, he said he did this for 6 months, dropped out of school because Akiri, this was taking a great toll on him, right? Mind you, he said they were not allowed to bath. They had to stay dirty most of the time. So I think that's why Mehlo Madala is the way he is now, right? Because that affected him. That is trauma, right? That is trauma because you were used to not bathing. So I think that's something that evolved. It evolved and it grew in him. After 6 months, he ran away and went to live with his uncle, who's a traditional healer in MP. He said they did things with his family that I am not going to disclose. They did things to remove the bond that he had with those people, right? First few weeks were hard because so it took a lot of money, it took a lot of prayers, it took a lot of everything, to remove him from that cult. So after that, Abashapo, he permanently moved to Mpumalanga, by the way. So he was just visiting. He's planning on going back to school to finish his studies. Ari, he's not ready because every time when he thinks of school, everything comes back, right? So he's taking it one step at a time. So yeah, guys, that's what happened. So yeah, guys, I told him to continue praying and that I'll do the same because he really needs our prayers. He really needs our prayers, and he really needs all the help that he can get, right? He really needs all the help that he can get. So now I'm going to continue praying for him and Luna ko pala makapedis, I don't really wish anyone akafeta hoyon, right? So ko pala makapedis lona cuz he's not okay. And I'm worried that if he's not closely watched, if he's not being closely monitored, it's like a chance to lady la high. Yeah. Because I'm worried that if he's not closely monitored, he might do something to hurt himself, right? So I hope Ubashap him. I hope Ubashap. So yeah, guys, so thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and follow me on all of my social media platforms. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.